Hi everybody, my name is Tayyibah Suliman. I'm a director at Cliffe Dekker Hofmeyr in the corporate and commercial department and the sector head for the technology and communications area. My specialization covers off technology and communications, the content of which is vast and complex and impacts on transactions in material ways. How I got to this particular place in my career is difficult to pinpoint. I had necessarily no ambition to become a technology lawyer at the start of my career. I almost slipped into it, and I found that I had an inclination to delve into the complexities of technology with clients, to understand their businesses, and to delve into the value of how a business is determined by that technology, how it changes a business. And so that's part of the reason that I found myself in this particular area, in this particular sector. What I also still continue to enjoy about the profession, being a lawyer, being in the technology sphere, is that the demands of clients, the demands of the environment in which we work in is constantly evolving. So if you look at the impact that AI has necessarily had on businesses, it's changed the way that we're going to formulate and understand the value of a business, how a business operates, and what that risk profile is associated with the business. And that has enormous implications for any deal that you're going to be doing in the future. If you were to look at who owns data generated by AI, that's not an easy question to answer. Courts around the world are still trying to grapple with who owns that data. But tied to that inherently is how are you going to attach a value to the data associated with the value of a business when you're considering a deal? And I'm going to postulate that there isn't going to be an organization that you're going to engage on a deal with in the near future that doesn't have some kind of impact in terms of AI and how that comes to the fore, how you determine the value, how you determine the consideration, and what the risks associated with those deals are going to be in the future. So grappling with that is still something that continues to be very interesting for me. And I want to be part of the future of this profession in terms of enabling young lawyers, young women, on the part that they get to play in the way that the future is going to change for us. So in terms of what I can advocate for any young lawyer, for any young woman who is in the technology industry, is that there's so much to be said for being yourself and spending a little bit of time introspectively knowing who you are and the value that you bring to a transaction, to an organization, to a law firm. And a big part of that is identifying with your own strengths, identifying with your own weaknesses. I personally went on a journey to really take a more holistic approach to my entire life, which is that the extent of my being is not necessarily focused solely on my professional well-being. It's focused on my personal well-being. It's focused on my ability to take time to appreciate the world in which I live in, to appreciate the people that I get the opportunity to interact with, be it in my professional environment or in my personal life. I love to travel, and I make time to travel. I'm a solo traveler often, and I see many women out there who are potentially single or who have an interest in perhaps seeing the world but don't necessarily feel comfortable to do it by themselves. I would advocate for anybody to be brave, to take a little bit of time and to give yourself the opportunity to do a little bit of solo travel. It is, I think it was Mark Twain who said it's an anathema to ignorance, but that's what's wonderful about travel. It opens up your eye to a different part of the world, how people perceive things. You'll see different types of technology, and you'll come back to South Africa, and more often than not, you'll be grateful.